All right, guys, we're live. Welcome back. Horsepower Obsessed, Vette Syndicate, Corvette Weekly. We're all here, guys. 19 weeks in a row. I know I always open up saying the same thing, but I got a little bit of a surprise for you guys. 19 weeks in a row. I see a lot of the same names over in the chat, but I also have this. This is, of course, my Z06 order. We're not going to talk a whole lot about this just yet because the order hasn't actually been put in the GM yet. So until everything is official, I don't want to discuss what dealership I went with or what went wrong with my last dealership. There's a lot of information to cover there, guys. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, just know that's my order right there. A lot of you are going to ask me a question. It's going to pop up in here a bunch of different times already. I'm sure of it. What color did I get? I'm going to tell you. I got black. What'd you say? Purple?
Purple. I thought you got purple.
Honestly, I would have if I could have, but it's not an option. So I got black. I really like black, and trust me when I tell you, you guys are going to love what I'm going to do with this thing. Trust me. I've already told Steve. I've already told Jason. They're on board. It's going to be pretty freaking cool. So not only will the Z06 be awesome, but it's also going to look really different than any other Z06. Anyway, guys, I want to address real quick. We got Kevin Horan in here. Congrats, he says. Congrats to you, too. I understand you just put your order in. Him and I have been emailing about it. Kerry Glock, William Richardson, Elijah. I don't know that I've seen you in for a while. It's been a little while, but you have been on the lives before. Learning fast. I did not customize my VIN. I'm not that worried about getting it that fast. I'm very high on the list, which tells me I will have the car really early on. But I didn't want to spend the extra money to customize that VIN because it's a lot of extra money. I didn't want to do it. It is going to be a coupe. It's not a convertible. Ralph Cruz says, congratulations. Thank you. Congrats to you too, Ralph. I know Ralph is actually one of the guys who helped me get on another list for a Z06. So you guys are all amazing. You really are. I mean, the Corvette community that we're building here is fantastic. You guys are actually helping out, and it's awesome. We all appreciate it. I know I speak for all three of us when I say that. Yeah. William Richardson, I actually thought about that same thing. He says, every time I get in our C8 Corvette, I think, what the heck am I going to do with a Z06? I thought about that pretty long and hard myself, and I actually contemplated at one time just buying another C8 and sticking with that instead of getting a Z06. And that's what I was going to do because I was having a lot of difficulty finding a dealership that was even remotely legit. And I think I finally found one. And I will tell you guys 100%, once I know for sure it is legit, I will share all of the information with you guys. But I don't want to put the cart before the horse and tell you to go to this dealership before I know for sure that it's legit. So one of my friends actually hooked me up with it. I don't want to say any names because I don't know how much I want that information out there just yet. But I'm telling you, I should know here pretty soon because that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is allocations for the Z06. So if you guys remember, the 11th of August, we were supposed to get some allocations for the Z06, but it didn't happen. We did get some allocations for the C8, which is good for these guys, but nothing for the Z06 yet. Now, there is a rumor out there right now floating around that we might get some allocations this Thursday. So in a couple days. And if we do, then that means I can put my order in, solidify everything. And then the next day we are talking about my order. We're talking about all of it. But let's see. Museum pickup. It's not. I did not do a museum pickup because it's actually, believe it or not, when you do a museum pickup, it actually delays your car for a couple days. So I want to get this thing as soon as I can, minus paying the $5K extra for the selectable VIN. I didn't want to spend that extra money, but at the same time, I love the idea of a museum pickup. I just didn't want to risk the extra couple days, possibly weeks, depending on what's going on down there.
Hey, we should note, not going to say how much, but unless you want to, but note that you didn't pay anywhere near $50,000 over.
No.
Not even close.
No, and I'm not gonna talk too much about that just yet either. That will all be in the video. I didn't pay 50K over. I didn't even pay 40K. I didn't pay 30K. We'll talk about what I paid. Because I did pay over, and unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of paying over MSRP. But at the same time, yeah, that's it.
I did.
Honestly, if you want the car, it really seems like that's what you got to do. But I'm very, very low on the over MSRP range. And like I said, as long as everything works out, I'm going to tell you guys all the details. But for now, just know I got my order in. I'm getting a black Z07 package, carbon flash painted ground effects, not exposed carbon fiber. That was not because of the constraint. It was actually a choice I made before that constraint came out. But it was later discussed that apparently that constraint is actually for carbon flash and carbon fiber. So I didn't save myself any trouble anyway. But 11-second Eclipse says he'll give me 10K over for my allocation. Nope. Trust me, what I'm going to do with this car and the fact that I'm keeping this thing forever, it's going to be worth way more than 10K to me. No, I don't think they've announced the price of the performance build experience yet. I looked online, I couldn't find it, but that was another thing that unfortunately I really wanted to do that, but unfortunately it adds to the time before you get the car, and for us YouTubers, every second is precious with that stuff. So Nikki says congratulations, she can't wait to see it. Thank you. Fingers crossed for Thursday. General Lee says, yeah, 100%. What's up, General? Nice to see you in here. We're going to try to talk about your garage today. I'm not sure if we'll have. Yeah, Dr. Corvette, I am super against the idea of paying over MSRP, but again, this is something I'll talk about in a future video. I literally talked to probably it had to have been well over 100 different dealerships. Nobody was willing to do anything for less than 50K. And there's just not a chance. I was not even going to consider paying 50K over for a car. I'm not going to do it. I did pay over, but my amount over is very small in the grand scheme of things. I pretty much had to at that point. I would not have had to had my previous dealership kind of stuck with what we were doing. I would have still been able to get one at MSRP pretty early, but that's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about all that stuff later, guys.
Well, I can say I'm proud to say I'm not paying over sticker. However, yeah. I'm not getting a 6. If I was, I would have no problem doing what you did, but yeah.
And I was this close, literally this close to going to the same dealership that Jason did, because the experience there has been phenomenal. Yeah. I wish they weren't charging over MSRP for the Z06, but they're not for the C8. And I guess actually they are now, but they weren't whenever you ordered. And I was almost going to order one because, like I said, I couldn't find. Yeah,
we talked on the for about an hour the other day, a while back, whatever it was. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean at that point, like I was done. I was done thinking about a Z06 because I could not get one, and I was just going to go back with another C8. Because honestly, the C8's a cool car. It's a really freaking awesome car. Like if you guys can't get a Z06, don't beat yourself up. Get the C8 and have 99% of the fun with it. I mean, the C8 is still an awesome car. And I mean, I was 100% going to just go with a C8 if I couldn't get the Z06. And at the very last second, something kind of came through. And like I said, until it's rock solid, I don't want to talk too much about it, even though I'm still talking about it. I know. We'll talk more about it in the future, I promise. But for now, guys, you guys clicked on the video because of the fact that we have some information about the Z06. So before we mention too much about that, I want to talk about the monthly giveaway. You guys know I'm giving away something from C8 Vette Parts Online, which is the engine dress-up stuff. And I'm actually going to show you here in a second because Rich is actually doing all of this stuff. And he went out of his way to give us these things. These are $500 normally. They can be yours for basically every $10 that you donate via Super Chat or Venmo payment. Will actually get you one entry to win these. Now, the picture here is black and red, of course, but he will paint them any color you want. So whatever color you want those to be, if you win these, they will be painted those color or that color and mailed out to you. So as you can see, there's just one of them. then this is what it would look like as a total for your engine dress up. So really cool parts here. If you guys have the C8 Corvette without the engine appearance package, you can really dress it up nicely without spending all the money on GM's parts there. So again, if you're interested, every $10 super chat or Venmo is one entry into winning these things.
Cool.
So next, guys, I'm going to kind of go over to the chat one more time real quick because I'm getting some questions over here. Kerry Glock says having an early Z06 will be good for the channel and information. 100%, and that is the only reason that I even thought for a second about paying over MSRP. Normally, I'm a guy that I won't even pay $1 over MSRP. But I did everything I could to find this car. I had to get it. I wanted it mostly for you guys because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep the car forever. It's going to sit in my garage forever right beside my ZR1. It's not going to be a car that I'm going to get rid of. This is I have a lot of sneaking suspicions that this may be one of the last gas-powered cars, fully gas-powered cars that GM makes. And if that is the case, this will be a car I keep for a long period of time. Yeah, guys, so we have 207 people watching with only 57 thumbs ups. If you guys could, those 207, please click that thumbs up. Let me know you're liking the content. We're going to be talking about some Z06 stuff here in a second. I am going to talk about the miles per gallon. Right now is kind of estimated, but Jason has some really awesome information talking about all of the other cars that it compares with. So we'll talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about a car that Chevy is benchmarking against an unknown performance variant of the C8 Corvette, but it's got to be a baller car because the one that it's benchmarking against is insane. We're also going to show a picture for those of you who didn't see my last live video of the new white pearl tri-coat. And then one other piece of information we'll talk about at the very end that's pretty cool. But guys, General Lee just donated $20. So via Super Chat, that gets him entered twice to win that engine appearance package. At which point he can choose what color he wants it painted. Give me his address and we will get it shipped out to him. So very cool stuff, guys. If you're interested in modifying or making your C8 yours, this is the way to do it. Okay. What a garage it will be. C7ZR1 and C8 Z06. Absolutely. And I can't wait to do it because it's either going to push me to build a new garage or find somewhere nice for one of those cars to live. Hard to think. Yeah. If I got the Z06 in red, it would be Batman and Robin. Hard to think Z06 without some track times. Come on, GM. I agree. Matt, you nailed it on the head, man. We are waiting for some serious Nurburgring times. Hopefully they're coming soon. Unfortunately, I'm getting every day that goes by that we don't get that time, I'm getting more and more convinced we're not going to get a time. And that's unfortunate.
By the way, I wanted to say, Jerry, I met him. He's a good guy. I met him at Corvette World quite a while back. But, yeah, I met him at Corvette World. It's good to see him on here.
Jerry, I'm not going to butcher that last name. It starts with a C?
That's why I just called him Jerry.
Okay. I just want to make sure I was looking at the same one here.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't see how a C8 Z06 will be faster than a C7 ZR1 at Laguna Seca. Honestly, Jerry, I thought the exact same thing. Segmented time for a ZR1 around the Nurburgring. It is a segmented time, but it was Jim Merrow that ran it, and he was convinced that car would hit the segmented time and then some if those tires were properly warmed up. So his segmented time was 6 minutes and 58 seconds, which is freaking phenomenal. But he was convinced he could have done better had he been given the time to actually warm up those tires. Now, if you guys don't know who Jim Merrow is, he's one of the guys who was driving the Camaros at the Nürburgring, and apparently one heck of a car driver himself. So he was able to hit 658 in a ZR1. Now, if the C8 Z06 doesn't hit at least a 658, it's going to look like a disappointment to some people. Even though that is a segmented time, Merrow was very convinced himself, because he was the one behind the wheel, that he could have done better than a 658. So if it doesn't hit 658 and you're a Jim Merrow fan and you were looking at the information on the forums, you're going to understand pretty quickly the Z06 might not be the best buy for that. Now, at the same time, I know it's going to pop up in here. Not everybody's buying this car for a good Nurburgring time. And of course, I 100% understand that. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. I'm mostly talking about the way I feel, the way a lot of the higher end exotic crowd feels. And I mean, I would love to see it hit under that time, but I'll be honest with you, it's not going to stop me from buying the car at this point. I've already got my order in. I've already talked to the dealership and everything. It's happening regardless, but it would be nice if it came out and performed like the price suggests that it should.
Yep.
Yeah, Learning Fast says, I don't think normally aspirated in a production car can break 7 minutes on the ring. Normally I would agree with you, but this isn't exactly a normal naturally aspirated engine. It is something special. GM has really pushed a naturally aspirated engine to its absolute peak. And I do think it could, but I'm being proven wrong almost daily here with this, because every day that they don't bring out that number, I think we're getting closer and closer to the fact that it's just not going to happen. Kevin Horan says, he told me he was sad that he could not drive the ring anymore when he retired. Yeah, exactly. Jim Merrow was quite the guy for Corvette stuff. So, whenever he says the things he does about the ZR1, and if you go on the Corvette forums, he will tell you the C7 ZR1 is still his favorite car to this day. That car is capable of magnificent things. Yeah, Jeff kind of hits it on the head again with saying the ring time would be nice bonus, but I'm not driving that fast to work every day. So if I was, I would probably need some serious bail money. That's 100% accurate. And just look at it this way though. Like, yeah, you're never going to be driving the ring on the way to work, but at the same time, it would be nice to know in the back of your head that you are driving a car to work that could also be taken to the ring and kill some supercars, right? That would be a good feeling to have. Even if you're never using it, it would still be good. It's bragging rights, we'll call it. Jax says, is anyone else obsessed with horsepower? I don't know. You guys?
You for the car.
Yeah, we're a little bit obsessed with horsepower here. Frankie says, yeah, this car is going to destroy anything that comes up to it. I don't disagree. I don't. I do think this car is going to be phenomenal, but I do also have a little bit of a concern about why GM's not giving us these numbers. We've talked a lot about this, guys. I don't want to continuously beat a dead horse about the Nurburgring numbers. We haven't gotten anything yet. GM, as far as I know, is back from the Nurburgring with the cars, so we should have something. And
yep.
What'd you say, Steve?
Super chat.
Yep, we got a super chat. So SL65 AMG Benz sends $20 super chat. He is going to be entered twice to win the engine appearance package for the C8 Corvette. He says, do you think the Z07 pack, hardtop convertible, all black roof, rapid blue with orange calipers, tension blue interior, and orange seatbelt, carbon wheels works, or would you do red calipers? So orange calipers aren't an option that I noticed.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't.
But for Miami, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't think orange calipers are an option, AMG Benz. Typical with that particular color setup, I see a lot of people doing yellow calipers, and that's what I would do personally. If you're going to do the rapid blue, I'd do yellow calipers. 11-second clip said the same thing. Yeah, the time is just bragging rights. It really is. Don't get me wrong. It's bragging rights. But at the same time, if you ever do decide to track that car, and the last time I ran the poll, 50% of you said that you were going to track this car. If you track it, it would be nice to know that you got something that can seriously tear up the track. I had my C8 Corvette, my base C8 Corvette, on a track shortly after I bought it. And the difference in that car was noticeable to me, because I was so used to a C7, I could feel the weight difference. All of the weight in the rear pushing the car forward, whereas with the C7, a lot of it was 50-50. It felt better balanced, of course, but in the turns especially, the C7 felt better to me. I think the Z06 aims to fix some of this stuff. Now, if they do, great, but we'll see what happens. They do have orange calipers with the ceramic brakes. Man, I don't know how I missed that. I swear I did not see orange on there.
I literally don't remember on the wall when we were, looking. I don't remember seeing it. I'm not saying it isn't. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't either. Guys, I'm going to put up another poll because we've asked this question a couple times and it usually ends up 50-50. I want to see if it's still the case because we're getting closer to this car actually being released. I want you to vote in this only if you are actually getting a Z06. So this isn't a preliminary, would you track the car if you had it? But I want to know, those of you who are actually getting this car, are you going to track it? So that's going to be the poll I'm creating here. If you are getting the Z06, will you track it? Will you take it to the track? Yes or no? Now, like I said, guys, just only vote for this if you are actually getting the car. Because I'm curious how many people will actually take this to the track that are actually buying this. Because this is an expensive car. When it's all said and done, optioned out, you are right around 170 plus. Of course, that's before taxes and stuff. You could seriously option this thing out. And would you really want to take a $170,000 car to the track? I'm not going to say yes or no to that, but at the same time, you gotta have a certain way about you. All right, I'm getting a lot of orange caliper talk here, so I'm going to go and I'm going to build my own Z06 here and just check it real quick. Because I swear that was not on the visualizer, but this is why I love this community so much, guys. We can share all kinds of information. We can share knowledge. That's what this is all about.
Like a 11-second Eclipse says, the visualizer does not offer the orange caliper, but doesn't mean you can't get it. But doesn't. So if you're going to go do that, it's not going to work.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well.
Time.
So again, as I was just saying, this community answers all kinds of questions. I didn't even have time to load up the visualizer before he answered it for me. So awesome stuff, guys. So the visualizer does not show orange calipers, but it is an option. So to answer the question that was originally asked, would I get orange calipers with the Rapid Blue? The answer is still no to that. I would do 100% red or yellow first.
What if you're a Dolphins fan?
Nobody's a Dolphins fan.
I was long time ago.
I'm just joking. The Dolphins are actually pretty cool. And honestly, yeah, if you're down in Miami, I could see the Rapid Blue orange color combo being a thing. I saw a question in here I wanted to talk about. So Amber's on. She's either at work or driving home, and she's on the chat. That's how dedicated she is. Kevin Haran. Yeah, his build has orange calipers. Kevin, did you go with Elkhart Lake or Rapid Blue? I think you told me you were going with Elkhart Lake, if I remember right. Yeah, and the 3K gas guzzler tax. So, guys, that was another thing we were going to talk about slightly today. We have discussed the gas guzzler tax already a couple times in previous videos. It's going to be $3,000 if you do the more aggressive aero package. $2,600, I believe, if you don't do the aggressive aero package. Either way, you're 3K or less. Learning fast, I am not an Eagles fan. I live in the Pittsburgh area, but I'm not a Steelers fan either. I am a Green Bay Packers fan. Yeah. Usually I have something hanging around, but I've decided to stop doing that because people hate me for it. So I'm a closet Green Bay Packers fan. Oh, Kevin's getting an orange car. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. He gets the orange, and that looks really good. And actually, now that you mention it, I have seen orange calipers on that. The freaking promo convertible car was orange with orange calipers. Yeah, guys, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I'm seeing about 250 people on here. If you could please leave a thumbs up. It looks like we're at 109. That's pretty good, but I like to end these right around 200 thumbs up, so I'd really appreciate it. If the Z06 isn't sub 7, I'd rather buy something else. This is kind of what I'm talking about. So some people are buying the car because they want what is the next performance variant of the C8 and a car that looks cool, car that is pretty fast, and that's fine. But some people want all of that, and they also want to know that this car will tear supercars to pieces on the track. That's what I want. I want to know all of those things are true. So hopefully we get some numbers, or even if they're segmented numbers, I hope we get something. Visualizer shows orange calipers, but you have to go with carbon fiber. Oh, do you have to get the carbon fiber wheels for the orange, not the carbon ceramic rotors? That might make sense. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to flip over to the web browser real quick because I do want to talk about some of the information that we have here with the Z06. So I'm going to kind of flip back and forth between the camera here and the web browser so none of us get too bored. But ultimately, like I said, the gas guzzler thing, $3,000 or $2,600 depending on your aggressive aero. But what else is talked about here in a video from one of the guys that's actually in the know with this stuff, for me at least, is his name is Jump Squad on YouTube. He actually has a TRX and a C8, so him and I share a lot of the same likes in life. But he's talking about the gas guzzler fee and what he speculates the gas mileage to be because of the fees and some other things that he has deduced in his video here. So if you guys want to kind of get down to the brass tacks, you can watch the video, but ultimately this is what he's coming up with. So for the $3,000 gas guzzler fee, which of course is going to be that more aggressive aero with the dive planes and the big spoiler, you're going to get at least 16.5 miles per gallon, but less than 17.5. So it's going to be somewhere within that very small range. Now, if you think about what this car is giving you horsepower wise, that's actually a pretty good miles per gallon, especially since that's probably city. If I had to guess, highway is probably going to, if I had to guess again, max out around 19 or 20. Typically GM's pretty good with their highway miles per gallon, usually being at least 20, but I guess we'll see. Now, if you go with the less aggressive aero, you get a little bit better gas mileage. It's going to be at least 17.5, but less than 18.5. So if you guys are looking to buy a C8 Corvette Z06 and you're looking for the best possible gas mileage, maybe you get the one without the aggressive aero. But I'll be honest, if you're looking for miles per gallon, Corvette in general is probably not your best bet. Now, if you're looking for smiles per gallon, the Corvette's where you want to be. What do you guys think? Any questions about that stuff so far? I think, honestly, looking at these numbers myself, I'm pretty impressed if they end up coming out like that. I mean, it's not super difficult to impress me with miles per gallon nowadays whenever my TRX gets 10. So anything over that, it's looking pretty good. How much horsepower is one of the questions? 670. So, I mean, almost 700 horsepower, and you're still maintaining about a 17 mile per gallon. It's pretty good.
But, you know, here's my thing. Do you really care? I mean, unless you're planning on daily driving it, I don't really care. I don't worry about what I put in gas or what mileage I'm getting in my Z06. I don't even look. I have no idea. Zero. My truck, I look every now and then because I drive hundreds of miles a day a lot of times. But, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, as long as it's not like 2.
That's the same with me. I mean, my ZR1, I actually looked at it the other day when I was driving because my average gas mileage in that car for the last 3 years of driving it is 16 point something, which is actually not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Especially when you consider it or compare it to my TRX, which I've had for about 4 months now. And my average in that is 9.8. And that's my daily driver. Now, again, I don't really care on either one of them. I only look at it because I think the 9.8 is hilarious. And I looked at the ZR1 the other day just to see where it was at because I'd never looked at it. And my best miles per gallon in my ZR1 was after I bought it, driving it home from Virginia. I hit 26.8.
Wow.
Which is really, when you think about it, that's almost an 800 horsepower car, 26.8 miles per gallon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Ever Jeff says the same thing I said a second ago. Miles per gallon is the way to look at it. It really is. I get a lot of miles per gallon out of my ZR1. The TRX is up there too, though. Like, you would not believe how often I pull into a gas station, and I do a lot with the TRX, and people ask me about it. What kind of truck is that? It's a really nice truck. And I'm like, I get almost as many compliments on that TRX as I do my ZR1. But anyway, moving on. We're going to go to the next bit of information here, which is GM has been testing the Ferrari SF90, and they're doing it at the proving grounds, and they think they're doing it to compare it with the E-Ray and the Zora. Now, I'm going to let Jason kind of take this away for a second because he has looked up a bunch of information on the Ferrari SF90. I know it's a fast car, but I don't know the exact specs. So, Jason, if you want to take that away.
Yeah, and I found the specs on a couple of different places, but the one that seems a little more realistic was 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds with a top speed of 211 miles an hour. Quarter mile in 9.5 seconds at 148 miles per hour. And this car has 986 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, but the base price is really similar to the Z06. So, I mean, this is where it gets impressive. It's only $625,000 to start with. So, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, that's just a few dollars more than the Z06. And it has 3 electric motors, though, because it is a hybrid, and it has, now, granted, I realize that we're not comparing it to the Z06. We're comparing it to the Zora, but at the same time, those numbers are not, in my opinion, insanely high compared to what we're looking at the Z06 with a starting price of 106. So, but it does have 3 electric motors, so it'll be a hybrid, much like we think that the Zora is going to be. So, and it's twin turbo, 4.0 liter twin turbo. So it's a lot of messy information. And so, but yeah, so I'm curious to see though what the Zora is going to be. Twin turbo is what we had heard a while back.
Yeah. So if that all stays the same, and I was initially saying that I didn't think the Zora was going to be a hybrid. I thought it was going to be a full electric, but now I'm kind of doubting that because I don't know why they would be testing the SF90 given
the
fact that the SF90 is a hybrid. They're going to test that against another hybrid. And I think the SF90 is far too fast to be compared to the E-Ray. I think that's got to be for the Zora.
Yeah, and, I remember reading some information quite a while back that they expected it to be 1,000 horsepower. And I don't remember if it was a ZR1 or they called it a Zora. I honestly cannot remember. But they said twin turbo, 1,000 horsepower, 2 electric motors running the front wheels, and of course, the back was going to be gasoline powered ICE. But
yep, and that was the Zora. So the Zora model initially was supposed to be, and of course, this is all kind of early on speculation. This was before the C8 Corvette was really even out. There was a leaked document talking about the models that were coming next. They had leaked the Z06. And then a Grand Sport, which is likely to not be the case, and then an E-Ray, and then ZR1, and then a Zora. Ultimately, the Zora was supposed to be 1,000 horsepower, which actually, after looking at the numbers of the SF90, now all of a sudden, that makes a lot of sense because
pretty close.
The SF90 is like, 14 horsepower away from 1,000. So why not test those 2 cars together? They're basically the same, only minus $500,000. Or, maybe less depending on what the Zora ends up being. But
suppose it's a base price of say $225. I mean, that's still insane compared to $625. But I'll be honest with you, SF90 is a beautiful car. But still,
I'm not a giant Ferrari fan, but the SF90 looks really good, and it actually obviously it has the performance to back it up. Now the big thing for me is the Zora was rumored to start at 200 before we heard about a Z06 that starts at 106. So I have a feeling that Zora that was supposed to be 200 is probably more like 250 now. Now at 250 starting, after you check some boxes, you're probably at 300. Now, we live in a world now where we could possibly have a $300,000 Corvette.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we kind of do now with markups anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. But think about it too. We're also now at $1 million+ Ferraris, where we weren't. I mean, I know that you have a couple of the Ferraris that are running that, but there's not many that weren't in the past, I should say,
yeah,
as opposed to now.
I mean, everything nowadays is more expensive than it was, 30 years ago. But at the same time, man. Okay, I
know.
What was that, Steve?
Oh, do what?
The last 2 years has gone up a lot more.
There's a question that popped up here in the chat that I want to address because I've gotten this a lot. He says, bro, what do you do for a living to have a TRX, a ZR1, and now a Z06? I get this question all the time, and I am full-time on YouTube as of March 2020. So all my income is coming from YouTube, sponsorships. Now, I actually haven't taken any out, but eventually Blackout Miami will start feeding some money in. This is all generated from what we do here. So YouTube and some side business things that I have going. I get this question a lot though, so I wanted to address it. I don't want to sit here and make it sound like I'm some millionaire by any means, because trust me, I'm not. But at the same time, I have always been good with my money. I don't spend my money on drinking, drugs. I don't do any of that stuff. All my money has always gone into cars. So that's where we're at with it.
Mine goes in the bank.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's take a look at what we got here.
Justin, look at your text messages. That's from your wife.
Yeah, I'm looking at my text messages, but they don't look that good.
She's probably going additions.
Yeah, she's saying that we need a new house. That might come next, but we'll get the Z06 first.
Priorities,
100%. The roof only leaks a little bit. No, not really. We have a nice house. Cars are good.
You got to get that OnlyFans channel, Shane. You got to get it moving.
Yeah, that's what I told Amber. That's what she's supposed to be doing. Do you invest in stocks or real estate? Elijah, I do not, but I will be.
I can tell you my stocks.
It's not a good time to own a bunch of stocks. It's probably a good time to buy, though.
So here's the thing. My crypto's down. My stocks are down. My real estate is up.
Yeah. Yep. I think now would be a good time to buy some stocks, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Buy low, sell high.
Yep. Learning Fast says, I bet you could get that new house if you sold the manual ZR1. And he's 100% right. But it's funny because the person saying a new house is also the person who won't let me sell the ZR1. So I've contemplated it. I've tossed it around in my head, but if I sell the ZR1, I already know that will be the car that I regret selling for the rest of my life. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. What were we going to do next? Okay, so Jason talked a little bit about the SF90, why it's important to understand this car, to really understand what it is that GM is benchmarking this thing against. So based on the horsepower...
Yeah, the key numbers on that were 0 to 60, 2.5, and top speed to 11.
Actually, I think one of the biggest key numbers is the horsepower being 986.
Yeah, that's because you're horsepower obsessed.
Yeah, it's partially that, but I think that also feeds into the leaked release schedule for these cars with GM, because if it is 986 and the Zora was originally leaked to be 1,000 horsepower, if you guys can remember, I made a video about this, and this made huge news at one point. the Zora model was creating so much power that it was twisting the frame enough to break the rear glass.
Yeah.
That was circulating around forever. And if you remember that amount of power that it was making at the time was 1,000 horsepower. So that was the Zora. And the SF90 being at 986 tells me that is very likely what they're benchmarking that car against. And it's interesting because I saw the comment in the comment section here where they were saying they better not start talking about the Zora before we have more information about the Z06. And I 100% agree. They already started teasing the E-Ray. Meanwhile, we don't even have our hands on a Z06 yet, or a lot of the information that we need for the Z06. I mean, we only recently got the pricing. Yeah, so 11-second Eclipse says that the 0 to 60 in the SF90 is only 0.1 seconds faster than the Z06. This is probably one of the reasons why GM is using this car as a benchmark, because GM definitely geared the C8, and I'm assuming the Z06 as well, specifically for 0 to 60 times. So they want that 0 to 60 time to be ridiculous, whereas afterwards, it doesn't need to have as high of a top speed. Now, the SF90 here is doing both. It's got a really high or really fast 0 to 60 time, but it's also got a high top speed. I don't think, at the same rate, I don't think GM can do the exact same thing with what they're doing.
One thing I wanted to mention is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Car and Driver had the SF90 at 2.0 seconds, but I found a Ferrari dealership in Redwood City. You know that one. But it had it at 2.5, so I was sticking with the 2.5.
Oh, okay. So it could be as fast as 2.0.
Correct.
That does seem possibly a little hopeful.
That's why I stuck with the 2.5, because plus it came from a Ferrari, site as opposed to Car and Driver.
Yeah. Although the SF90 is effectively all-wheel drive, right?
That's actually something I did not read. I would assume it has to be, yes.
Yeah. I would imagine the front wheels are probably driven with the hybrid motors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is just part of the information, guys. This kind of funnels into our miles per gallon talk, because a lot of the newer performance variants are going to be possibly hybrid. And I know a lot of us out there are kind of fighting the electric car thing, but the hybrid setup part of it is kind of, in my opinion, the hybrid setup cars are more okay than the full electric cars, because yeah, you kind of get the best of both worlds without really a lot of the downfalls of either one. So yeah, Elijah said the SF90 is all-wheel drive. I thought so. Aaron saying the SF90 actually goes 0 to 60 in 2.1. Yeah, so Aaron, Jason was doing some research on that, and he found two different websites saying two different things. So I think the big thing you're going to find with that stuff is the websites that test these cars are going to report the 0 to 60 time that they were able to get. Not necessarily what the Ferrari techs got, but what they can go out in front of their house and do. Michael Johnson says, have they said the miles per gallon for the Z06? They haven't officially said them, but we do have an estimate for them. And they're actually here on the Corvette, the mid-engine Corvette forum. It looks like the C8 Z06 with the less aggressive ground effects will be somewhere between 17.5 and 18.5 miles per gallon. The more aggressive, 16.5 to 17.5. Now, these are estimates, so don't take these to the bank. This just is likely pretty close to what we're going to get. Now, moving on past that, guys, I did want to mention one other thing that I mentioned in my actually, I think it was Tuesday video. Somebody had asked about the anniversary edition in white pearl metallic, and they wanted to know if there was any pictures of a Z06 yet. I do have obviously pictures of the C8. One of my subscribers actually has a C8 anniversary edition in white pearl, but this is specifically the Z06, and it's in the sun. So you can see here in this picture, it is creamy, but it's not, it doesn't look like a pearl, like your typical GM pearl white. this looks almost more like a silver, because if you look in the middle, there's actually 2 silver stripes running up the hood, and you can barely see them in the sun because the sun's really bringing out that metallic flake in the white, and it's kind of making it almost look silver. I wanted to address this just because I knew somebody had asked before on here about that, and I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to see the colors. So I'm not sure if that person is on here. I can't remember who asked me that, but if you're on here, let me know what you think of the color after seeing it. Frank White says Brooks at Drag Times loves the Ferrari SF90. I would be very... I'd feel weird if I met somebody who didn't like the SF90. That car is freaking gorgeous. Okay, Steve. Yeah, it was you. I remember now. It was him who asked about the pearl metallic. So this is a pretty good picture of it in the sun to give you a good idea of how much that metallic flake really pops. Yeah, the MPG numbers are based on combined numbers, yeah. So again, these are estimates as well. So it's not going to necessarily be 100% accurate, but it is going to give you a good idea of where we're going to be.
Nice.
So yeah, that's going to be a conversation that comes up a lot, is the GT3 RS versus the Z06, because the price difference, it is there. Don't get me wrong. The price difference is there, but it's not, it's not the RS, the GT3. The GT3 versus the Z06, the price difference is there, but it's not that much. So whenever you're considering a pretty well spec'd out Z06 versus even a base or semi-optioned GT3, it's not that much of a price difference. But the GT3 has Nurburgring numbers. So this is the part of the whole equation that is going to end up causing some issues, I think, because you could get a GT3 for not much more than what you would pay for a Z06. And if you're a performance number guy, the GT3 is going to be a better buy. Now, whether or not that's you or not, it's still something to think about, because you're spending that much money on a Z06. You're buying a car that, yeah, sure, it looks cool, but the GT3 is a good looking car too. And especially the new redesign. If that's the case, yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I do feel like we need to get some Nurburgring numbers soon. The GT3 RS versus the Z06 with the Z07 package, there is more of a price difference there. So I'm not going to make that much of a comparison between those two. HPO, did you see the white pearl in person? It's hard to tell in photos. No, I have not seen it in person. That photo is the best one I could find of it in the actual sun. Because it, for some reason, it seems like it wants to hide in the shade. But that one there in the sun really brings out the metallic, from what I can tell. So, one of my subs here has the Pearl C8 70th anniversary, not the Z06. He might be able to talk to you a little bit more about it. Yeah, it was, I think it was Steve, wasn't it? Isn't it you, Steve, with the Pearl? Man, I'm losing my mind. I can't remember who it was with that now. Shane says you can't touch a GT3 for less than 300. Yeah, again, just like always, I'm not talking about markups or I'm talking specifically MSRP. The MSRP for the Z06 and the MSRP for the GT3 is not that different. It is different, but it's not that different, is what I'm saying. Now, of course, just like with everything else in the world, you're going to pay well over nowadays. 70th anniversary edition. It does have the red on it. It's just hard to see. I'll flip you back over here because I kind of blew past the first image there, but it does have the red ring on the wheels. It's really hard to see because the sun's really glaring on the wheels, but it is there. The Cayman GT4 RS is an awesome car with the 911 motor. Yeah, that 11-second clips, that's actually the car that Josh from Blackout Tinting really wants, is the GT4 RS. But again, finding an allocation for that car is like insanely difficult. So basically the same kind of process I went through trying to find a Z06 is the same kind of process you're going to go through trying to find a GT4 RS. Everything nowadays, if it's a performance car, it's either marked way over MSRP or you can't even find one. It's unfortunate, but that's where it's at. Yeah, used, the GT3 can be found under 175. Yeah, the older ones can, yes. The new redesign is something that all the guys with their older GT3s sold their car for, I guess. The C8 Z06 looks like a track weapon, looks almost exactly like a C8R, and I agree. It really does. I'd really feel better about it if it performed the same too. But guys, one last thing I want to talk about real quick is the fact that on the if you guys go to the Mid-Engine Corvette forum on a daily basis, you are now going to see that I am a vendor on here. So I recently purchased vendorship rights on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum for the blackout tinting locations, specifically the Miami, Florida one. So if you guys are interested in having any work done on your car, please feel free, reach out to me. We will talk about any of the paint protection films, the ceramic coatings, the window tints, anything you need done. I have all the knowledge about. I have a bunch of videos on it. I will gladly answer any of the questions that you guys have. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me via email, on the Corvette forum, right here in the comments section, whatever it may be. And I'll tell you what, if you do and you mention this specific Mid-Engine Corvette forum ad, I will make sure that you get a percentage taken off of your total of any work you have done there. So other than that, one last time, I'm going to also mention the fact that we are doing the giveaway, and it is the C8 Vette Parts Online engine dress-up pieces. If you're interested, every $10 Super Chat or Venmo donation gets you one entry to win this. At the end of the month, at the end of August here, we will be choosing a winner. At that point, that winner can decide whether or not they want those painted. So you can have them painted whatever color you would like. It will dress up your engine, and you could possibly win this for $10. So what do you guys think? You guys agreeing with these miles per gallon numbers, or do you think this guy's out of his mind? What are you thinking?
I think earlier, if you're worried about miles per gallon, you're looking at the wrong car. Well, I actually think you should be driving a Tesla, so I don't care. I mean, if you want to go that route, I mean, and I was thinking about this when you're talking. Yeah, there's always going to be a car faster and quicker, and it doesn't matter. It boils down to one very big thing: is really, are you a Corvette enthusiast? I don't care what it does on the track. I don't care that Ferrari can do better. It's just like there's heritage built into this. I'm American first, so I don't care if it's the slowest thing. I don't care if it hits 710. It doesn't bother me because it's not going to sway my. I just love Corvette. Period.
Yep.
And
yep. And I know you're speaking for a lot of the people in the comment section here too. A lot of people feel the same way. I do to some degree myself, but I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care if the $106,000 Z06, if it doesn't perform as well as $1 million Ferrari, that's to be expected. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to give me a $106,000 Z06 that doesn't perform as well as, $110,000 or $120,000 Porsche, now all of a sudden I have a question. Now, again, that's not necessarily if the level of performance is close, then again, no problems. But I do believe that the performance does have to be there at a certain price point. But yeah, I mean, the Corvette in general has always been the car for me too, because it typically checks all those boxes. You get the performance, you get the looks, you get the heritage, you get all this stuff for a price that's much lower than the competitors. Usually that's what we get.
It was great. Here's the great part. We can always mod it. And that's the best part about it being a car enthusiast. Mod it.
That's it.
Because my 1LT Stingray is quicker than some of the other ones out there.
That's actually a good point. That's a really good point, Steve. So the big thing you're not going to see a whole lot of is modded Lamborghinis, modded Ferraris, and even modded Porsches. You'll see them, sure. We'll hear one here and there. You're not going to see them like you do Corvettes or Camaros, because those are the cars you could buy, throw big turbos on, throw big superchargers on, and then all of a sudden you're competing with those big high horsepower exotics. So yeah, absolutely. This is all 100% legit stuff. Don't get me wrong. I still want to see performance numbers for the Z06. Now, again, like I said, it's not even going to sway my decision at this point. The car's basically ordered. With that said, I still would like to know.
Well, I think you want it for justification purposes. If
Yeah.
you're going to spend that kind of money, you want the justification why you spent it. But honestly, even if a Miata pulls up and smokes me, I don't care, because I don't want a Miata. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy with that. I'm cool with that, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, kind of the same thing as if an SF90 pulls up and smokes me. Like, I'll actually use that as a benchmark as to how bad did he beat me. Oh man, he only had me by half a car. That guy paid $1 million for that thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I wanted to mention a thing, kind of semi off topic, but Vette Syndicate related. 11-second Eclipse. Hey, thank you. He said he just ordered a Vette Syndicate shirt, which I can't show my Vette Syndicate shirt because I'm not wearing it. I know Steve is, but thank you to him for ordering the shirt. And we actually have more shirts coming because we are very limited on our stock. So they've all went so quickly. And it was cool. You were in Pittsburgh or wherever over the weekend and just walking around, gentlemen, wearing a Vette Syndicate shirt. That's awesome.
Yep. So guys, I was
and
at
if he's
a show.
on here, he needs to let us know.
Yeah, if you're on here, I was at a show at the casino in Greensburg and just randomly happened to walk past a guy that was wearing a Vette Syndicate shirt. I stopped and I was like, dude, I gotta grab a picture of your shirt. I gotta send it to the guys. And I did, and it was awesome. Like, this thing has literally got that much of a reach at this point. But real quick, I want to mention, guys, I'm going to end this poll. We got 156 votes. If you're getting the Z06, only answer if you're getting the Z06. Are you going to take it to the track? 46% say yes. So it's, again, almost a 50-50 split. So at least 75 of you guys are taking your car to the track. That's pretty impressive. What do you guys think? Would you have guessed that people buying a car for $106,000+ would take it to the track?
Not unless you got tons of money. I'm not.
That's pretty awesome. I'm impressed.
Same.
So Blue Vet says, Justin just purchased an SUV for the wife. We'll be visiting Miami blackout tinting for window tint and PPF. Sweet. Let me know when. I'll try my best to be there. Can I get matte XPEL wrap with gloss XPEL racing stripes? You absolutely can, Carl. Any of you guys who have specific questions about maybe coming to the shop or just questions about PPF in general, you don't even have to come to my shop. Feel free to shoot me an email, comment on this video after it's not live anymore. However you want to get a hold of me, feel free to do it. I will gladly answer these questions for you. The other thing, probably a very close number 2 that I'm obsessed with other than horsepower, is XPEL and protecting your freaking ride. I mean, you horsepower doesn't matter if you can't take the car out of the garage without beating it up. So let's see, what else do we got here? My neighbor,
that's literally it's going from the dealer right to get expelled. I learned the hard way. Oh, I was saved the hard way.
Yep.
And don't get cheap film. XPEL is the only one I would suggest. I've seen some bad. It's worth the money.
Yep. I've seen the other guys paint protection film, specifically SunTech and 3M. And I mean, I wouldn't dog them. I mean, it's still paint protection film, but it doesn't install as nicely or as cleanly as XPEL, in my opinion. And honestly, this was well before I even owned a shop, so I can give you an unbiased opinion on what I'd seen as a customer. It just didn't look as good.
Super chat.
Kerry Glock says, I've never made advertised MPG, so I don't care. I got it for the smiles. I've had one or more Corvettes since 1981. Agreed, performance numbers have to be there. Yeah, MPG always seems to be an unobtainable number. It's like if you drove the car at 10% throttle for your entire life, you might hit what they say you can, but no one drives like that. So I don't really expect that any of that miles per gallon really makes the decision for anybody. I mean, if cars like the TRX sell the way it does, where there's literally people waiting in queue for these things for years, then that tells me pretty clearly no one cares about gas mileage. All right, Elijah says we're at 206 thumbs up, so that's pretty cool. We're at 230 viewers right now, so go ahead and hit those thumbs up. We can get some more, I think. Let's see. Trying to catch up on the comments here, guys. Yes, track it. 206.
Dude, my computer is way behind. My 6.
How does someone in California take their Z06 to Coda?
Dutch.
Shane.
You good.
I think. Who was it? No, it wasn't Shane. Who just told me that they took their car to that track? I was literally just talking. Oh yeah, but we got to address, guys, the guests donated $20. So he gets entered twice to win the C8 Vette Parts Online engine dress-up kit. Thanks for the donation, guests. We appreciate it. Aaron says something that's kind of coming up with the Corvette stuff as well. He says, it doesn't matter your relationship with Porsche dealerships anymore. You will likely not get a GT3 RS unless you go like 3 months ago and put in a word for your order. I'm noticing kind of the same thing with the Corvette stuff. Any of the high-end, even just sports cars, it's like the dealer doesn't want to, they don't care about you anymore. They don't care how good your relationship was with them. They want the money.
Oh.
Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Looks like we're... Yeah, that Michael Johnson says, I'd buy it, the Z06, for the RPMs, not the MPGs. That's
exactly.
Pretty close. Oh, we're at 177 likes? I thought someone said 206. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my computer.
That's what I'm seeing.
We gotta hit more likes than that, guys.
Oh.
I'd like to...
240. Already hit it.
That like, it's not hard. You just click it. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's free. It's a free way to make some weird guys on the internet happy. I mean, your parents will never tell you not to do that.
Exactly.
But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? Obviously, we have discussed already that the Z06 matters. The performance matters more than the MPG. But what do you think of the MPG? If you were to care about it, it's still actually pretty decent, right? The estimated MPG we were talking about looks like somewhere between 17 and 18. Yeah, Dr. Corvette. So, guys, somebody asked about the image of the 70th anniversary edition white. Dr. Corvette actually has one. He has the C8, not the Z06. And he says that it is not creamy at all in person, and the color is awesome. So
bright white.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a brighter white with heavy metallic flake. I mean, yeah. I know a lot of people are thinking the same thing I am, and that's of the Cadillacs back in the day. They had a real pearly, like creamy color. And of course, nobody wants that color nowadays, but that's what everybody thinks of when they hear pearl.
I think Corvette World's supposed to have one pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Shane says, sorry, everyone, I didn't get a chance to do my regular thumbs up. He's actually driving. So just like my wife, she was watching this while driving, and so is Shane. I don't necessarily condone that, but at the same time, I will applaud you for your dedication. Okay, Floyd says 200 watching, 185 likes. I'm seeing 205 watching, but the same amount of likes, guys. So we're 15 down. If we can hit 200, that would be awesome. You'll make us happy, like I said. So
like we need
11.
11. I got 189 on mine.
Okay, 11.
207 watching. We can do it.
So Jerry says we are forced to we are forced to talk about track data, MPG and colors, because, or non-track data, I'm sorry, because GM is hiding the track data. And that kind of is it. There's really only track information and maybe an allocation info, like solid allocation info that we're not getting. Omid, how you doing? I like seeing all the same names pop up here, guys. That means we're building that community. I know I say it every week, but I want you all to understand the community matters a lot to at least the 3 guys on this screen and the 1 girl there too. We want the Corvette community to be better and bigger. Bigger, better, badder, maybe. I don't know. We'll work on that. But basically, we want it to be awesome. And actually, so does this guy. So 3 guys, a girl, and a dog. We all want the Corvette community to be awesome. The guest donates another $20, guys. So another super chat of $20. He says, do you think they will offer pearl white outside the 70th and any luck with hypersonic gray and stealth? No, I do not think that they're going to offer the pearl white outside of the 70th or the carbon flash black. And that's unfortunate because that's the color I wanted. No luck with the hypersonic gray and stealth, but I am still working on that. We will have something eventually. We actually have a stealth, or not a stealth, a hypersonic gray car in the Miami shop right now, but he's not getting stealth. I tried to talk him into it, but he wouldn't do it. Shane says, talk to text is amazing. Works on live chat. Haha. So yeah, guys. We got a lot of dedicated Corvette people on here, and I love it. We're watching the live chat while driving. It's fantastic. Evening all. We got 194 thumbs up, it looks like at this point. We got about 210 watching, 194 thumbs ups.
You just said you have congrats on your partnership with Mid-Engine Corvette.
Oh, okay. Congrats on the partnership with Mid-Engine Corvette Forum. Thank you, Evan. It's been a long time in the making. We wanted to make something that was going to really just be good for all of the Corvette community, and I wanted to make sure I could bring you guys the best deals possible. I want to bring you the knowledge of the XPEL products, the paint protection film, ceramic coatings, window tint. There's a lot of misinformation out there about it. So even if you're not going to buy something from my shop, it doesn't matter. Reach out to me if you have any questions at all. I feel I will definitely get you answers. I want to spread correct information on this stuff because there's a lot of incorrect info out there. I'm going to try to find General Lee's garage pictures now. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show you guys these. General Lee, I hope you're still on here because you're about to get your 15 minutes of fame, buddy. You are on here. All right. All right. Let's take a look, guys. This is one of the subscribers. He's actually in the group chat here now. His name's General Lee or Greg. But this is his garage. And I'm going to point out the one thing in his garage that I'm the happiest with. What do you think it's going to be, Steve?
Don't know. I've seen his picture, so
You're the floor.
No, you guys didn't study these pictures as closely as I did then. So check these out, guys. This is General Lee's garage, obviously set up, waiting for his C8 Corvette Z06 to come in. But in the meantime, this is a garage you can hang out in. This is a man cave. So it's right here in this picture here, guys. You don't see what it is I'm studying on?
The ZR1 poster.
The C8 on the floor. Let me look.
Anybody in the chat, if you guys can see this particular photo,
wow, your car.
There you go. There you go. So the first thing I noticed, I sent General an email about it. I was like, oh, the picture of my ZR1's up on the wall. So, I mean, obviously he's got a bunch of street speed stuff up here as well. Some of the C8 Corvette marketing material. This is definitely a Corvette garage through and through. We've got some trophies. I love those die-cast models of the C8R. I don't know what it is about those things. It's just really, really cool looking. Yep, V16 turbo guessed it too. My car photo's up there. So he even has a mini split in there. Obviously, we got to have some air conditioning in the garage when you're spending a bunch of time in there. Yeah. So what do you guys think? For as far as the garage is concerned, I know I have another email showing even more pictures, but let me see if I can find it here. So as far as a man cave / garage goes, it's pretty good, right?
I see a lot of yellow Vettes in there on that.
So here's some more.
Yeah, where's the photo with the couch and everything?
Yeah, that's coming. It was in a separate email. He says, here's a few pictures of the Z06 list man cave garage. 82-inch TV to watch HBO live. I love this guy. So he's got, obviously, the fridge, another poster.
Oh, that's a cool cabinet.
Yeah, really awesome. Really, really awesome. And then, of
I need to
course...
show my wife this so she'll stop giving me crap about my garage.
Right? This doesn't even look like a garage anymore. This is another room in the house with that also has a car sitting in it, you know? Yeah,
I just can't tell what his favorite car is, though. That's the only problem. If there was like a flag or an emblem or something that showed Corvette, I might know he liked them.
Yeah, right? It is. he definitely leaves a lot to the imagination here. But
yeah,
obviously,
I love that hero.
Obviously, we got some seats sitting there to watch the big, what do you say, 87 inch? 82 inch.
82.
That's a big TV. So we got the 82 inch TV with 3 seats in front of it, all while sitting right beside the C8 Z06. Once it comes in, it will be sitting right there beside you. So awesome, awesome stuff. He's got some DJ equipment as well. Yeah. I saw a comment here. Elijah says, good to know that a grown man has toy cars too. Yep.
Mm.
I've heard the...
I know that, right? Brian Greer.
Oh man.
Hot Wheels. No, I'm not sure if those are Hot Wheels or not, but
True.
he even has an HVAC in the garage. Yep, the mini splits in the garage keep that place cool. Yeah, General, thank you for sharing the pictures. I mean, you're talking to a bunch of car guys here. No one on this planet is going to say anything negative about a car guy with a garage that looks like this. I can tell you that much. So we're all appreciative of you sharing these pictures.
Yes.
Looks very good. It will look a lot better once that Z06 is sitting in there as well. But guys, I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up as long as my webcam focuses correctly. Maybe. Okay. Doesn't matter. You get the idea. So, let's see. That's a TV. I thought it was a photo. Yeah. So that is an 82-inch TV. Come on, webcam. Yeah, I fixed it. All right. Guys, we're going to wrap this up. So one last time, if you could, please smash that thumbs up button. I think we hit 200.
210.
210? Okay. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for tuning in. Of course, this is a weekly thing we're going to do. Go check out Vette Syndicate. I think, yeah, Steve has the shirt on today. The rest of us, we're dropping the ball, Jason.
Don't forget to send us photos at Vette_Syndicate on Instagram, and we will post them and tag you guys
For free.
Yep.
for
So
free.
if you guys have any photos of your cars you want to have on the Instagram account, or eventually we're going to start making a video that plays at the end of our live videos that just shows cars after cars after cars, all of your cars. So anything you share with Vette Syndicate, I will put at the end of these live videos starting hopefully next week.
And I like what Dr. Corvette said. He needs 6 shirts for Carlisle.
Are you going to be
We
at...
are try to get some for Carlisle as well.
Yeah, are you going to be there, Dr. Corvette? I will be there. So will Jason. Steve might be.
I booked my flight. So
yeah. So Jason and I will definitely be there. My wife will be there. We will have the HPO canopy set up right beside AWE exhausts, which should be row IG 118, I believe, which was actually the last thing we were supposed to talk about. So thanks for reminding me of this. IG 118 all the way to IG 125 is going to be AWE and horsepower obsessed. So if you guys want to stop by, you'll see the tent. I'll have my ZR1, and I'm also going to have a surprise car. So maybe Horsepower Obsessed is getting a new car that's going to make a surprise appearance at Corvettes at Carlisle. So come out, say hi to me, say hi to Jason, and guys, send this guy as many messages as you possibly can. Get him to come too.
Apparently, I'm gonna be busy next week with all these photos I'm gonna get.
We're gonna have him crush your inbox until you come to Carlisle.
By the way, I got on here, or I saw a message on here, and unfortunately, we do know that whenever somebody else starts talking, that it cuts out the other person, and it's something that we're looking to fix with. Well, I'm not. Justin's looking to fix with a different software. It's one of the negatives of the way we do it now, but unfortunately, we have to.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that comment, but
yeah,
it is. Yeah. Okay, I see it now. We're working on it. This is one of those things where we've done the Vette Syndicate thing for a while now. This is the last problem that we really have to iron out. Everything else is working really smoothly. We're able to get everything we want done. And one of these weeks, we're going to bring you some really interesting content from a different location. So basically, it's going to work out nicely where you'll be able to see some pretty things happening in the background. But yeah, we appreciate any kind of constructive criticism, any constructive feedback on this stuff, because we are trying to make this work as best as possible for you, as well as us. We want to have a car guy hangout that works for everybody involved. So I appreciate you bringing it to our attention, but it is something we already knew. We're trying to work around it just by being mindful of when people are talking, but it is difficult when we get into the heated passion of automotive stuff.
Exactly.
But I think that's it, guys. I think we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish today. If you guys have any questions about Corvettes at Carlisle, feel free to reach out to any one of us three, especially Steve. Make sure he's coming. Don't let him off the hook. Also, any questions about XPEL, paint protection film, ceramic coating, window tint, reach out to me. I will answer anything that you have, any kind of questions. We covered a couple little things with the Z06. The miles per gallon seems to be pretty good. Testing with some pretty crazy cars. The Ferrari SF90 is testing probably against the Zora. But I think that's about it, guys. So one last time before you go, if you could smash that thumbs up button, let us know you're liking the content. Go check out Vette Syndicate on Instagram. The link is in the description below, actually. Send us pictures of your cars so we can include them on the Vette Syndicate Instagram channel, as well as at the end of these live videos. It will roll through, say your name, and display pictures of your cars at the end of every one of these lives, hopefully starting next week, if not the following. But we need your cars for that, guys. So if you send them to Horsepower Obsessed email or to the Instagram account, either way, we'll get them and we'll make it happen. But yeah, that's it. Thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys, I guess, next week, 7:30. Next Monday. Take it easy.